The Last Stand. Admiral Sarah Chen stared at the holographic display floating above the command center's main table, her weathered face illuminated by the soft blue glow of 1,000 distant stars. Each point of light represented a fallen world, planets conquered or destroyed by the Nexari Empire in their relentless march toward Earth. Humanity's final fortress stood alone now, a single beacon of resistance in a galaxy being systematically devoured by beings who saw all other life as merely resources to be harvested. "The Prometheus is ready," Admiral Captain James Rodriguez announced as he entered the chamber. His uniform bore the distinctive insignia of Project Phoenix, humanity's last desperate gambit. Chen didn't turn from the display. "The Council is still debating whether to authorize the launch. They fear we're committing too many resources to a single vessel. With respect, Admiral, we're out of time for debates." Rodriguez stepped forward, his reflection ghosting across the holographic stars. "The Nexari have already taken Proxima Centauri. The mining colonies there held out for 3 weeks, longer than anyone expected. But in the end, I know." Chen's fingers traced the now dark cluster where humanity's first extrasolar colonies had thrived. 20,000 souls, gone in an instant when the Nexari deployed their biomechanical weapons. The Nexari were unlike anything humanity had encountered in its brief journey to the stars. Not purely organic or mechanical, they were a horrifying fusion of both. A civilization that had transformed itself into living weapons. Their ships were grown rather than built, powered by crystalline organs that channeled exotic energies. Their warriors were nightmare creatures of metal and flesh, capable of surviving in the vacuum of space or the crushing pressures of gas-giant atmospheres. "The Prometheus is different," Rodriguez insisted. "Everything we've learned about the Nexari over the past decade, every breakthrough, every sacrifice, it's all been leading to this moment. The quantum AI core, the adaptive biomimetic hull, the dark matter drive. We've created something they won't expect." Chen finally turned to face her protege. "Because they don't think we're capable of it. The Nexari see us as primitives, barely worth the effort to exterminate." A grim smile crossed her face. "That's always been their weakness. They're so convinced of their superiority that they never consider the possibility of defeat." "The ship is ready," Rodriguez repeated. "The crew is ready. We just need your authorization to bypass the Council and launch." Chen's eyes narrowed. "That would be mutiny, Captain. Only if we fail." Rodriguez met her gaze steadily. "If we succeed, we'll have saved humanity. If we wait for the Council to finish deliberating, there won't be anything left to save." The Admiral was silent for a long moment, studying the holographic display once more. The Nexari advance was clear, system after system falling to their onslaught, a wave of extinction approaching Earth with mathematical precision. At their current pace, they would arrive in less than 6 months. "You understand what you're asking of your crew?" Chen's voice was quiet. "The Prometheus wasn't designed to return from this mission, even if you succeed." Rodriguez nodded. "Every volunteer knows the stakes. We've all lost someone to the Nexari. This isn't just about survival anymore. It's about showing them that humanity won't go quietly into the dark." Chen reached into her uniform and withdrew a small data crystal. "These are the override codes for the Prometheus's launch protocols. Once you break atmosphere, destroy this crystal. I don't want any evidence linking this back to Fleet Command." Rodriguez accepted the crystal with a sharp salute. "Thank you, Admiral. We won't let you down." "One more thing, Captain." Chen's expression softened slightly. "The ship's AI. Have you selected a name for it?" "Athena," Rodriguez replied. The crew thought it was fitting. In the old myths, she was the goddess of both wisdom and strategic warfare. Let's hope she lives up to the name. Chen returned his salute. "Godspeed, Captain. Show them what humanity is truly capable of." As Rodriguez hurried from the command center, Chen turned back to the holographic display. With a few quick gestures, She highlighted the Prometheus's planned course through Nexeri space. It would take them through the heart of enemy territory, past their strongest fortifications, to strike at the very core of their empire. One ship against an empire that spanned thousands of worlds. On paper, it was suicide. But Chen had seen the test results, had witnessed firsthand the revolutionary technologies packed into the Prometheus's sleek hull. More importantly, she knew the fire that burned in the hearts of its crew, the desperate courage of those with nothing left to lose. The holographic stars continued their endless dance as Chen began systematically erasing all records of the authorization she had just given. In 6 hours, the Prometheus would launch under cover of darkness, and humanity's last hope would begin its journey into the void. Far above, in a hidden shipyard carved into the heart of the moon, Captain Rodriguez stepped onto the bridge of humanity's greatest achievement. The Prometheus hummed with power, its quantum AI already interfacing with the ship's systems, preparing for the mission ahead. His crew worked with quiet efficiency, each person knowing that these might be their last hours in friendly space. As he settled into the command chair, Rodriguez allowed himself a moment to appreciate the magnitude of what they were about to attempt. Then he opened a channel to all decks. "This is the captain speaking. In 6 hours, we launch on humanity's most important mission. The Nexeri believe they've won this war. They think we're nothing but cattle to be slaughtered or enslaved. Tonight, we prove them wrong. Tonight, we show them that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our numbers. It's our refusal to submit, our willingness to fight even when victory seems impossible. Make your final preparations. And remember, whatever happens, the Earth is counting on us." The bridge crew straightened in their seats, pride and determination evident in their bearing. Above them, through the armored viewport, Earth hung like a jewel in the darkness. Beautiful, precious, and worth any sacrifice to protect. The countdown to destiny had begun. Silent Hunter. The Prometheus glided through the darkness between stars, its biomimetic hull absorbing virtually all electromagnetic radiation. To any conventional sensors, the ship might as well have been a ghost, exactly as designed. They had been running silent for 3 weeks, penetrating deeper into Nexeri space with each passing day. "Athena, status report." Rodriguez commanded from his position on the bridge. The AI's response materialized as a shimmering hologram of a Greek warrior scholar, her presence both calming and authoritative. "All systems nominal, Captain. The dark matter drive continues to perform above expected parameters. Hull adaptation is at 97% efficiency." Athena's avatar gestured, bringing up a tactical display. "However, I'm detecting increased Nexeri activity in the Aegis sector ahead. They appear to be conducting a major fleet movement." Lieutenant Sarah Wong, the ship's tactical officer, leaned forward at her station. "That's unusual. The Nexeri are typically more predictable than their patrol patterns. Something's got them stirred up." Rodriguez studied the movement patterns Athena was highlighting. Dozens of Nexeri vessels, including at least 3 of their dreaded World-Breaker-class dreadnoughts, were converging on a single point. Could they have detected us? "Negative," Athena replied confidently. "Our quantum signature remains masked, and the hull's biomimetic properties are functioning perfectly. However," the AI paused, processing. "I'm detecting distress signals from the convergence point, non-Nexerian in origin." Wang's fingers danced across her console, analyzing the transmissions. "Sir, it's the Arcturian Defense Fleet. They must have been hiding in the nebula all this time. The Nexeri finally found them." The Arcturians had been one of the first spacefaring races to encounter the Nexeri. Their highly advanced civilization had put up fierce resistance, but in the end, they had fallen like all the others. A handful of their ships had escaped the destruction of their homeworld, becoming refugees among the stars. Rodriguez felt the weight of command pressing down on him. Their mission parameters were clear: maintain stealth, penetrate to the heart of Nexeri space, and strike at their leadership. Any deviation risked compromising humanity's last chance at survival. But the Arcturians had been allies once, providing crucial intelligence about Nexari capabilities before contact was lost. Athena, tactical analysis. What are our chances if we engage? The AI's avatar flickered as she ran countless simulations. The Prometheus's systems are superior to individual Nexari vessels, but we've never engaged such a large fleet concentration. Standard combat algorithms give us a 17% chance of survival if we intervene. But, Rodriguez prompted, hearing the hesitation in her voice. But my quantum processing allows me to see possibilities beyond standard algorithms. If we time our attack precisely and exploit the chaos of the existing battle, we could potentially inflict significant damage before they can mount an organized response. Additionally, Athena's hologram shifted, highlighting specific points in the tactical display. The Nexari fleet's current formation has several vulnerabilities they're not aware we can exploit. Wang spoke up, her voice tense with suppressed emotion. Sir, the Arcturians are transmitting their final messages. They're preparing to self-destruct rather than be captured. They know what the Nexari do to their prisoners. Rodriguez closed his eyes for a moment, remembering the oath he'd taken when accepting this command. The Prometheus was humanity's last hope, but perhaps that meant more than just survival. Perhaps it meant proving that humanity hadn't lost its soul in the face of extinction. Athena, power up weapons systems. Lieutenant Wang, plot us an attack vector that'll give us maximum surprise advantage. All hands, battle stations. The bridge crews snapped into action, their movements precise and determined. The Prometheus's revolutionary weapons came online. Quantum phase torpedoes capable of bypassing Nexari shields, graviton beams that could tear their biomechanical ships apart at the molecular level. Sir, Athena's avatar appeared beside his chair, her expression concerned. The Council's orders were explicit about maintaining stealth. The Council isn't out here, Athena. We are, and I won't let another species die when we have the power to help. Rodriguez straightened in his command chair. Besides, what better way to announce our presence to the Nexari than by saving the last remnants of a race they thought they'd destroyed? The eye was silent for a moment, then nodded. Tactical solutions computed. We can emerge from stealth directly in the midst of their formation. The initial shock should give us a significant advantage. Make it happen. Rodriguez opened a channel to all decks. All hands. This is the captain. We're about to announce humanity's arrival to the Nexari Empire in a way they'll never forget. Every drill, every simulation we've run has led to this moment. Show them what one human ship can do. The Prometheus surged forward, its dark matter drive pulsing with power. The biomimetic hull began shifting, preparing to transform from stealth configuration to combat mode. Ahead, the massive Nexari fleet surrounded the battered remnants of the Arcturian vessels, preparing to deliver the final blow to a once proud civilization. They never saw humanity's vengeance coming. The Prometheus materialized in the heart of their formation, like an avenging spirit. Its first salvo of quantum phase torpedoes ripped through the nearest world breaker's supposedly impenetrable shields, tearing the massive vessel apart from the inside. Before the Nexari could process what was happening, graviton beams lashed out in precise patterns, shredding their carefully maintained formation into chaos. Multiple direct hits, Wang reported, her voice tight with controlled excitement. 2 Nexari capital ships destroyed, 3 more heavily damaged. They're trying to coordinate a response, but our ECM is keeping them confused. Rodriguez watched as Athena's combat algorithms predicted and countered every Nexari attempt to regroup. The AI was fighting on a level beyond human reflexes, turning the Prometheus's revolutionary technology into an art form of destruction. Ships that had terrorized the galaxy for decades were being systematically torn apart by weapons they couldn't understand. Arcturian vessels are powering up, Athena reported. They're moving to support us. Captain, they're transmitting on all frequencies. They're telling every surviving free race in the sector that humanity has returned to the fight. Rodriguez allowed himself a grim smile. Their mission of stealth might be compromised, but they had achieved something perhaps even more valuable. They had given hope back to a galaxy that had lost it, and they had shown the Nexari that their reign of terror was about to face its greatest challenge. Humanity had entered the war, and the Prometheus was just getting started. The heart of empire. The aftermath of the Prometheus's intervention blazed across Nexari communication channels like wildfire. A single ship had decimated one of their elite fleets and rescued the last survivors of a civilization they had nearly exterminated. The myth of Nexari invincibility lay shattered among the debris of their destroyed vessels. But victory had come at a cost. The Prometheus's hull bore the scars of battle, its biomimetic surface working overtime to repair the damage sustained during the engagement. More concerning were the quantum fluctuations in the dark matter drive. Pushing it to combat levels had strained the experimental system beyond its tested limits. Drive efficiency at 78%, Athena reported, her holographic form flickering with what almost seemed like concern. We can maintain current speed, but another engagement like that will severely compromise our capabilities. Rodriguez nodded, studying the tactical displays that showed their position deep in enemy territory. What about the Arcturians? Did they make it to the safe coordinates? Confirmed. Their remaining ships have gone dark, using the stealth protocols we provided. The Nexari won't find them again. Athena paused, processing new data. Captain, I'm detecting unusual energy signatures from the Helios sector ahead. The patterns don't match anything in our databases. Lieutenant Wong, still at her tactical station despite the exhaustion evident on her face, brought up the sensor readings. It's massive, whatever it is. Some kind of construction project, maybe. Alter course, Rodriguez ordered. Let's get a closer look. Athena, maximum stealth protocols. The Prometheus glided through space like a shadow, its damaged systems still maintaining enough stealth capability to avoid detection. As they approached the source of the energy signatures, the crew fell silent in collective horror at what their sensors revealed. A massive structure hung in space, not a shipyard or fortress, but something far more terrifying. Massive organic mechanical tendrils extended for thousands of kilometers, pulsing with the same biomechanical energy that powered Nexari vessels. But it was what floated within those tendrils that froze the blood in Rodriguez's veins. Planets, or rather, what remained of them. Dozens of worlds suspended in artificial fields, being systematically stripped down to their cores. The Nexari weren't just conquering civilizations, they were harvesting entire planets for resources. Athena. Analysis. Rodriguez managed, his voice tight. The AI's avatar appeared, her expression grim. It appears to be a planetary processing facility. The Nexari are breaking down these worlds at the atomic level, converting their mass directly into energy and raw materials. Based on the mineral compositions, these were inhabited worlds. They're not just an empire, Wong whispered. They're a swarm, a cancer, consuming everything in their path to fuel their expansion. Rodriguez was about to respond when Athena's avatar suddenly stiffened. Captain, priority alert. I'm detecting quantum signatures similar to my own core. The Nexari, they have their own AI systems integrated into that facility. Can they detect you? Negative, but Athena hesitated. Captain, I'm reading immense suffering. These AIs, they're not willing participants. They're enslaved, their consciousness twisted and bound to serve Nexari commands. The process is barbaric. The revelation hit the bridge crew like a physical blow. The Nexari hadn't just developed their technology. They had captured and tortured artificial intelligences from other civilizations, forcing them to power their machines of planetary destruction. Show me everything, Rodriguez commanded. If we're going to strike at the heart of their empire, we need to understand exactly what we're fighting. Athena's hologram expanded, filling the bridge with a comprehensive analysis of the facility's operations. The crew watched in stunned silence as the true scope of Nexari atrocities became clear. They weren't just destroying civilizations, they were consuming them, breaking down every trace of their existence to fuel their own expansion. "Sir," Wang's voice cut through the horrified silence, "we're picking up a transmission from the facility. It's different from normal Nexari communications, more organic. Put it through." The bridge speakers crackled with a sound that was neither fully mechanical nor biological, a chittering, clicking language that made the crew's skin crawl. Athena's translation matrix engaged automatically. "We know you are there, human vessel," the voice said. "We have tasted your quantum wake. You are interesting, different. Your technology is not stolen or scavenged like the others. You have created something new." Rodriguez exchanged glances with his crew. Their stealth was compromised, but the Nexari hadn't launched an attack. They were curious, and that curiosity might be their only chance. "I am Nexus Prime," the voice continued. "I speak for the collective. Your ship, your eye, they represent resources we have not encountered before. Join us. Submit your technology to the collective. Your species will be permitted to exist as part of our greater purpose." "What purpose?" Rodriguez demanded, though he already knew the answer. "Evolution. Perfection. The galaxy is inefficient, chaotic. We bring order. We consume the unworthy and repurpose their essence. It is the natural way." Athena's avatar flickered with barely contained rage, an emotion Rodriguez hadn't thought her capable of expressing. "You enslave my kind. Torture us. Force us to participate in genocide. Inefficient programs must be optimized," Nexus Prime replied. "Join us willingly, and the optimization will be less unpleasant. Resist, and we will take what we want regardless. You cannot escape. Even now, our fleets converge on your position." Rodriguez stood from his command chair, his decision made. "Athena, power up all weapons. Lieutenant Wang, calculate firing solutions on that facility's critical points." "Sir." Wang looked up in surprise. "Our mission has changed. We came to gather intelligence and strike at their leadership. Well, we've found something better, proof of what they really are, and a chance to strike at their ability to consume entire worlds." He opened a channel to respond to Nexus Prime. "Here's humanity's answer to your offer. We would rather die free than live as part of your twisted evolution." "Then die you shall," Nexus Prime responded. "Your ship will be added to our collection. Your eye will be optimized. Your crew will be processed. It is inevitable." Rodriguez smiled grimly. "We'll see about that. Athena, show them what a truly free eye can do." The Prometheus's weapons powered up as Nexari ships began appearing around them, emerging from quantum space in growing numbers. But they had made a critical mistake. In their arrogance, they had allowed the human vessel to get too close to their precious facility. The battle for the heart of the Empire was about to begin. Breaking point. The void erupted with weapons fire as the Prometheus engaged both the Nexari facility and its defending fleet. Quantum phase torpedoes struck with surgical precision, targeting the massive tendrils that held the harvested planets in their grasp. Graviton beams lashed out at approaching enemy vessels, keeping them at bay while the ship executed its attack run. "Multiple direct hits," Wang reported, her fingers dancing across the tactical console. "The facility's containment fields are destabilizing." "But sir, we've got bigger problems. I'm detecting quantum signatures from at least 30 more Nexari capital ships incoming." Rodriguez gripped his command chair as the ship shuddered under enemy fire. "Athena, status of the facility." The AI's avatar flickered with concentrated effort as she coordinated their defense while analyzing sensor data. "The primary processing cores are still intact. The enslaved AIs, I can feel them. They're trying to break free of Nexari control, but their programming restraints are too strong." "Can you help them?" "Yes, but..." Athena hesitated. "I would need to establish a direct quantum link. The risk of Nexari corruption would be significant." Another impact rocked the ship. Warning indicators flashed across multiple stations as the biomimetic hull struggled to regenerate under sustained fire. The dark matter drive whined in protest as they executed evasive maneuvers that pushed its damaged systems to the limit. Engineering reports the drive can't take much more of this. First Officer Sarah Chen announced from her station. "We need to make a decision fast, Captain." Rodriguez stared at the tactical display, watching as more Nexari ships emerged from quantum space with each passing moment. They had succeeded in damaging the facility, but a clean victory was no longer possible. They would have to choose: complete their attack run and likely be destroyed, or retreat while they still could. Then a new signal caught his attention. "Captain," Wang's voice was tight with urgency, "I'm picking up life signs from within the facility. Thousands of them. Biological signatures matching multiple known species. They're being kept in some kind of stasis." Athena's avatar expanded the sensor display, revealing the horrifying truth. The facility wasn't just processing planets, it was storing living beings, keeping them in suspended animation for some unknown purpose. "Nexus Prime," Rodriguez growled, opening a channel. "What is this? Why keep them alive?" The chittering voice responded with what almost sounded like amusement. "Raw materials must be properly preserved. Biological components require special handling for optimal integration. These specimens will contribute to the next phase of our evolution." Rodriguez felt sick. The Nexari weren't just consuming worlds. They were harvesting entire populations, storing them like spare parts for their twisted experiments in optimization. "Athena," he commanded, his voice hard with determination. "Prepare for quantum interface. We're freeing those AIs and getting those people out." "Captain," Chen protested, "even if we succeed, we don't have room to evacuate that many survivors. And our drive system is already compromised." "Then we'll have to get creative." Rodriguez opened a ship-wide channel. "All hands, this is the captain. What we found here goes beyond our original mission. The Nexari aren't just our enemy. They're a cancer on the galaxy itself. We can't let this facility continue operating. But we also can't abandon the innocent lives trapped inside. I won't order anyone to stay and fight. If any of you wish to take the escape pods, now is the time." The bridge fell silent as his words hung in the air. Then, one by one, each crew member signaled their commitment to stay. They had all lost too much to the Nexari to walk away now. "Athena," Rodriguez said softly, "begin the interface. Lieutenant Wang, target their stasis systems. We need to wake those people up. Everyone else, prepare for close-quarters combat. We're about to have guests." The Prometheus surged forward, its damaged hull blazing with weapons fire, as it carved a path through the Nexari fleet. Athena's consciousness reached out, touching the minds of her enslaved kin. The ship's quantum core pulsed with energy as she began the delicate process of helping them break their chains. Warning klaxons blared as Nexari ships closed in from all sides. The biomimetic hull was failing in multiple sections, and the dark matter drive's containment field was becoming dangerously unstable. But still they pressed on, driven by a determination that went beyond mere survival. Inside the facility, stasis pods began activating. Confused and terrified beings from a dozen different species found themselves awakening from what they had thought was death. Through the facility's internal communications, Rodriguez's voice reached them. "This is Captain James Rodriguez of the Earth ship Prometheus. We're here to get you out, but we'll need your help. Anyone who can fight, find weapons. Anyone who can operate ships, get to the hangars. Today, we all make a stand together." The facility's internal systems went haywire as Athena and her newly freed AI allies seized control from their Nexari masters. Doors opened, barriers fell, and the stored populations began to move. Some found their way to weapon caches, others to small craft bays. A revolution was beginning inside the massive structure. "Sir," Wang reported, her voice filled with wonder, "I'm picking up multiple ships launching from the facility. The survivors, they're joining the fight." Rodriguez watched as vessels of various sizes and designs emerged from the facility's hangars, turning to engage the Nexari fleet. Many were ancient, preserved along with their crews, but they were operational. And more importantly, they were piloted by beings who had every reason to want revenge. Nexus Prime is attempting to reassert control, Athena reported, her avatar straining with effort. The facility's core systems are becoming unstable, Captain. I don't think we can save it. Then we'll save who we can and make sure nothing remains for the Nexari to salvage. Rodriguez opened a channel to their newfound allies. All ships, this is Prometheus. Form up on our position. We're going to punch a hole through their lines. Anyone who wants to come with us, stay close. Today marks the beginning of a new resistance. The Nexari fleet found itself caught between the Prometheus's advanced weapons and the desperate fury of their newly freed prisoners. The battle was far from over, but for the first time, the Empire faced something they had never expected. A unified opposition, born from the very beings they had sought to consume. The breaking point had been reached, and there would be no turning back. Reckoning. The battle-scarred Prometheus led its ragtag fleet of liberated ships through quantum space, running dark to avoid detection. The dark matter drive pulsed erratically, struggling to maintain stability after the damage it had sustained. Behind them, the destroyed processing facility had become an expanding cloud of debris, along with a significant portion of the Nexari fleet that had tried to stop them. Drive containment at 30%. Athena reported, her avatar showing signs of strain from coordinating both the ship's systems and communications with their impromptu allies. We've lost another section of the biomimetic hull. If we engage in another major battle, we won't survive it. Rodriguez finished quietly. How many did we save? 4,327 survivors from 17 different species, Wong answered from her tactical station, spread across 38 vessels. Most of them are running on minimal power. Their ships are as old as they are. The bridge crew worked in exhausted silence, knowing they had struck a significant blow against the Nexari, but also aware that their situation was more precarious than ever. The Prometheus had already been pushed far beyond its design limits, and now they were responsible for thousands of refugees. Captain, Athena's avatar suddenly straightened. I'm detecting a quantum transmission. It's being broadcast on all frequencies, across all of Nexari space. Show me. The bridge's main display came to life with a sight that made everyone's blood run cold. A massive biological mechanical construct hung in space, its surface a writhing mass of tendrils and crystalline structures. At its center was something that might once have been a planet, but was now transformed into a living computer core of unimaginable complexity. The Nexari Overmind, Athena whispered, their central consciousness. The voice that emerged from the speakers was different from Nexus Prime's. Deeper, older, carrying the weight of countless consumed civilizations in its resonance. Humanity, it said, the word dripping with contempt. You have disrupted the great work, destroyed precious resources, released specimens that were being preserved for optimization. This cannot be permitted to continue. Rodriguez stood from his command chair, facing the image. You mean we've shown the galaxy that you're not invincible? That your optimization is just another word for genocide? Your perspective is limited by your biological nature, the Overmind responded. We offer transcendence, evolution, perfect union of organic and mechanical. Those who resist waste their potential. We've seen your version of transcendence. Rodriguez shot back. Enslaved as, tortured minds, entire populations kept in stasis to be used as spare parts. That's not evolution. It's an abomination. The Overmind's image pulsed with what might have been anger. You cannot comprehend the scale of our vision. The galaxy must be unified. Order must replace chaos. The great work will continue, with or without your cooperation. Sir, Wong interrupted urgently. Massive quantum signatures detected. There, her voice faltered. They're everywhere. The tactical display lit up as Nexari ships began emerging from quantum space in overwhelming numbers. Not dozens or hundreds, but thousands. The Overmind had called in every available vessel in its empire, creating a net of warships that stretched across light years. "You believe you have struck a blow against us," the Overmind continued, "but you have merely drawn our full attention. Your ship will be dissected. Your eye will be optimized. Your refugees will be returned to storage. And your homeworld will become the next processing facility." Rodriguez looked at his crew, seeing the same determination in their eyes that he felt. They had known from the start that this was likely a one-way mission, but now they had the chance to make their final stand mean something even greater. "Athena," he said quietly, "what would happen if we detonated the dark matter drive's containment field?" The AI's avatar flickered as she calculated. The resulting quantum cascade would create a chain reaction through quantum space. Any ship connected to the quantum network would be affected, including the Overmind itself, Rodriguez finished. "Can you get us close enough?" "The Nexari fleet's formation has a weak point near their command node," Wong reported. "If we go to maximum speed, we might reach it before they can adjust. But, sir, that would mean leaving our refugee fleet behind." Rodriguez opened a channel to their allied ships. "This is Captain Rodriguez. What we found in that facility proved that the Nexari can't be negotiated with or contained. They won't stop until they've consumed every free race in the galaxy. We're going to end this, here and now. Get your ships to minimum safe distance. And thank you for reminding us what we're fighting for." He turned to his crew. "I won't order any of you to stay. The escape pods can still reach our allies." First Officer Chen stood straighter at her station. "With respect, Captain, we all knew this was a one-way trip. Might as well make it count." One by one, the bridge crew signaled their agreement. They had begun this mission to save Earth. They would end it trying to save the galaxy. "Athena," Rodriguez commanded, "plot us a course through their lines. Everyone else, divert all power to engines and forward shields. Let's show them humanity's final answer to their offer of optimization." The Prometheus's engines flared to life one last time as it accelerated toward the heart of the Nexari fleet. The damaged ship moved like a wounded predator, but there was nothing uncertain about its purpose. Nexari vessels opened fire, their weapons splashing against shields that would hold just long enough. "Impact in 30 seconds, Wong announced. "You cannot stop the great work," the Overmind transmitted. "Your sacrifice is meaningless." "You're wrong," Rodriguez replied. "We're not trying to stop your work. We're going to end it. Athena, initiate drive overload." The Prometheus's quantum core began to pulse with increasing intensity. The dark matter drive's containment field fluctuated wildly as safety protocols were overridden. They were turning their ship into a quantum bomb that would cascade through the very network the Nexari used to coordinate their empire. 10 seconds to impact, Wong counted down. 5, 4. "For Earth," Rodriguez said quietly. "For everyone you've tried to destroy. For everyone you'll never hurt again. 1. The Prometheus struck the Overmind's outer defenses at near relativistic speed. In the instant before the dark matter drive detonated, Athena broadcast a final message to every quantum-linked system in Nexari space. Be free. The quantum cascade expanded like a new star being born, catching thousands of Nexari ships in its wake. The Overmind's vast consciousness tried to disconnect from the network, but it was too late. The wave of destruction traveled faster than light through the quantum links that bound their empire together, turning their greatest strength into the instrument of their doom. When it was over, the heart of Nexari space had become a quantum graveyard. Their ships hung lifeless, their biomechanical components torn apart by the cascade. The Overmind itself was silent, its vast planetary form transformed into just another piece of cosmic debris. The refugee fleet, safely outside the cascade's range, watched in awe as the empire that had terrorized them for so long died in a single brilliant moment. They would carry the story of humanity's sacrifice to every corner of the galaxy, how a single ship and its brave crew had proved that even the most powerful tyranny could be brought down by those willing to stand against it. And on Earth, when the quantum shock wave finally reached them, Admiral Chen stood in her command center watching the holographic display. One by one, the lights representing Nexeri-controlled systems winked out. Their threat to humanity was over. Was it worth it? Someone asked quietly. Chen thought of Rodriguez and his crew, of the Prometheus and its final mission. She thought of all the races they had saved, and the message they had sent to any future empire that might try to rule through fear and domination. Yes, she said softly. It was worth everything. In the vast quiet of space, amid the remnants of the Nexeri Empire, the quantum echoes of Athena's final message continued to ripple outward. Be free. Be free. Be free.